Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on one of my channels. This is probably going up on my Clips channel. I'm kind of putting more of the freelance content that I don't know where to post on my main channel onto the Clips channel. But today we're going to be doing our Premier League prediction, guys. The last time we did a prediction on the Clips channel, we did a Champions League prediction. And it actually did not go that well, if I'm being real with you guys. If I pull it up right now, I didn't do that well. The last time that I did a prediction video, this is kind of what we were looking at, and I think in the finals we had let's see, in the semifinals we had, I can't even tell really what we had here, but I think we had a Bayern win. But we had Atletico Madrid going farther than I thought they would. I had Atalanta beating Paris. So it didn't go as well as planned outside Madrid. I think I had Madrid beating City. So you guys can see that the 27 dislikes are not looking too good. But guys, look, Premier League, I gotta be real with you guys. I'll say it how it is, right? My favorite team is Spurs in the Premier League. So if you're wondering from a bias standpoint, I'm not biased with Spurs. And then secondly, Premier League is not my most watched league, so we're gonna be doing a couple league predictions. My most watched leagues, at least last year, was probably Bundesliga or Serie A. Those two leagues I watched a lot. I did watch a lot of La Liga as well. Premier League was probably my fourth most watched league last year. Fourth. League One was the only league that I didn't watch more than Premier League. It was just a slow year for me in the Prem. I thought it was an off year. But I think this year is going to be super entertaining. So let's get it started. Let me know what your guys' predictions are in the comments down below. Obviously, Liverpool won the league by 18 points last year. So they killed it. We had a close third place finish between Man U, Leicester, and Chelsea. Our three promoted teams, I believe, are West Brom, Fulham, and Leeds. These guys are going to come into the Premier League this year. So these are the new teams that are coming in. Okay, so my last place team that I'm going to go with, guys, is going to be West Brom. I don't think West Brom is going to stay up. I don't like their team much. I've seen their roster. I know that they haven't made many signings. I don't think they have the longevity to stay up. That's probably the last place team. The only other team that I would have put below them was Norwich City, but they've obviously already been demoted. They only had 21 points last year, 27 losses they had. So that is that. The next team that we have that I think is gonna drop down is gonna be Fulham. Now Fulham also got promoted, but I just don't see Fulham staying up. These two championship teams I don't see staying up this year. I don't actually think the teams that are in the Premier League are that stayed up, right? 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th. I don't think these teams that did stay there are actually all that bad. To me at least, I don't feel like they're all that horrible. Now this 18th place is a weird one because I really don't know what's gonna happen, in this place, but it's a tough one. It is a tough one to really know who's gonna drop down. But I think if I were to go with one team, it'd probably be Aston Villa, man. Like, Villa hardly stayed up, guys. They hardly stayed up, man. And I just don't know if they can do another year of that. I think the league as a whole this upcoming year is getting a lot better. I think it's going to be a way more competitive, tougher league this year than it was last year. I think last year was a lot. It wasn't. I don't think the quality of play was as good. I'm thinking there's a lot of new signings coming in for a lot of teams. The league should probably be a bit better this year. My 17th place team is going to be Crystal Palace. I think that they struggled a lot towards the end of the year. I'm not wowed by them. I don't think they have an incredible roster, so I'm not a huge Crystal Palace believer. I don't think they're going to do too hot. That is going to be my prediction. I mean, these places matter a lot less generally, but I'm not a Crystal Palace believer. I don't think they're going to do that well. West Ham got 16th this year. I'm not going to be putting West Ham there. I'm going to be going with Brighton at 16. I don't know about Brighton, man. Like, they just haven't wowed me much. I think Brighton's actually, if I were to give you guys a team that could get demoted, I think Brighton could get demoted. I just don't know. I mean, look, here's the deal. Brighton do have a unique play style. I see that, right? They actually go out and play. But I just don't love the way. I didn't love the way they closed their season. I watched the last 2 games. I didn't like the way they played. Now, obviously, next year is a new season, but Brighton's gonna be the team that I'm going with in 16th place, guys. That's who I'm going with. I'm in 15th place. I'm gonna go with. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Newcastle, man. Newcastle showed some signs of like progression, man. As a club, they were starting to do pretty good, and then they ended the season with 4 losses out of the last 5. So I was not impressed by that at all. But yeah, I think with 15th, I'm gonna go with West Ham, or 14th. I don't think West Ham has the defense to compete for a European position. I know that their fan base is really like crazy. I know there's a lot of West Ham fans, but I don't think West Ham have the urge in them, man. I think defensively they don't have what it takes, to stay up. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be going with there. In 13th place, guys, I'm going to be going with Leeds United. Leeds United got a couple signings. They got a really hardworking squad. They just bought a Valencia striker in Rodrigo. I don't know about him. I don't know yet, but I think they have enough to stay up and play a little football. And what I mean by that is that I think they're going to grab a couple results this year that will shock some people, but I don't think they're going top 10, in my opinion. Now, the bookies have Leeds being like almost favored to be top 10. I don't see that, but again, these are just predictions. We'll see, guys. In 12th place, guys, I am going to be going with I'm going to go with Burnley, man. I'm going to go with Burnley in 12th place. I think Burnley works really hard. I think they're a very organized team, and I think that they're going to be in the Premier League as long as they have that manager, man. I think it's Sean Dyche. As long as they have that manager, I don't think they're going to be leaving the Premier League. They're a very well-organized, well-constructed team, so I really like the future of that team and where they're heading. My 11th place team is going to be Southampton. Southampton actually ended the season kind of hot, man, and they have some players, man, that are pretty damn good at that team. I think they got a couple new signings, which is good. They got Kyle Walker-Peters. They also got a player from Real Valladolid. I don't know his name, but he's not a bad player. So I like Southampton, man. I like Southampton next year. I like the direction they're heading in. I think they got a shot to do pretty good. I think they got a shot to do pretty good in the Premier League, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go with them at that position. This is where it gets really hard, man, because there's a lot of good teams, man. And I think for me, it's the hardest to know exactly what's going to go on here with a couple of these teams. I think when I look at it at a 10th place position, man, there's a couple of teams that I'm probably debating between. If I'm going to be realistic, man, the thing is with like Sheffield United is that I think Sheffield United is a way better team than a 10th place team, but I think there's so many good teams this upcoming year that it's going to be really hard for me to not put Sheffield United at 10th. So I think Sheffield United will be mid-table. I think they did well during the year, but do they do enough to get anywhere more into the top 10? I'm not sure, but they're definitely a team that should be around that range. Now there's going to be a team or two on here that's going to just be a shocker and be horrible this year. I don't know who that is yet, but there will be a team or two that does shock us and just does absolutely terrible in this upcoming year. And I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting because there is going to be a team that's going to not do that well. In 9th place, guys, I'm going to be going with Everton. I think Everton made a couple signings that are really good. I think they have a player for me that's one of the best attackers in the world when he is with the right player set, which is Richarlison. If you guys watch Richarlison play with Brazil, man, the guy's unfucking believable. So we'll see how Everton does, man. I think Everton's going to have a better year than last year. They finished 12th last year. I think they have a better year. I don't know if they have a huge year, but I think they have a better year overall. Would be what I'm willing to bet on. I think that Everton's got it in them. At 8th place, guys, I'm going to be going with, man, this is a hard one. This is such a hard one, but I'm going to be going with Leicester City. I think that Leicester losing Chilwell is going to hurt their team, and I also think that Leicester just kind of did not play good at the end of the year. Now, do I think with the manager and Vardy and some of the players they have, they'll still do pretty good? Yeah, 8th place is still pretty damn decent. But I think they lost a lot in their team that was really good, just with a player or two. 7th place, guys, I'm going to go with Spurs. I, again, am a Spurs fan. I don't think Spurs have it to be a top 5 team. This year they got 6th, and if you look at it, they closed the season kind of well, but they had this spurt in the middle to end of the season where they were just horrible, man, and the type of football they played was just horrible. So I'm not expecting Spurs to be a top 5 team next year at all. I don't think so, man. That's not in my predictions, guys. I don't think that Spurs are going to be doing all that hot in the upcoming year. Am I going to go with a 6th place team now? I got to figure out who I'm going to... This is kind of where it starts to get pretty interesting, guys. I guess my 6th place team... Oh, man, who we're going to go with here? My 6th place team I'm going to go with is going to be... I think I'm going to go with the Wolves, but it would not surprise me next year if Wolves do better and get a top 5 finish. Just want to put that out there to you guys. I'm not going to be shocked next year if Wolves come out and do some serious business. That's just a real possibility. Now, this is where it's going to get really interesting. We got Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U, Man City, and Liverpool. Arsenal's grabbed some really good results recently. So that's something that for me is definitely, I wouldn't say swaying my decision, but making it really hard for me to put Arsenal at number 5, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But yeah, it is making it really hard for me to put Arsenal at number 5. Generally, I think that's hard for me to do because I think Arsenal is on the way up, and as a Spurs fan, that sucks because I feel like we're not on the way up and Arsenal is. But I'm gonna put Arsenal at 5. I think at 4 for me, this is between Man U or Chelsea, and personally, this is where this is a hard one. But personally, I'm gonna go with Man U, man. I think that Manchester United does not have a defense to make a top 2 finish. I could be wrong, but I think with Maguire, Lindelof, I know they're gonna get Reguilon, I think, which is a huge signing. He's very good, but I just don't like their defense, man. And I think that's always gonna be the biggest problem for United. You could have Rashford, Martial, Bruno, Pogba, these guys on top form, but if you can't defend in the Premier League consistently, it's troubling. So I'm going to go with Man U at 4. At 3rd place, guys, I'm going to go with Chelsea. Chelsea's making a lot of signings. Timo Werner, big German fan. I think that's a great signing for them. They have a lot of players coming in. A lot. How can this team mesh? How can this team play well? They're going to do enough to get 3rd. Liverpool I'm going to go with in 2nd. I think Liverpool are not going to win the league this year. And I think Manchester City are going to win the league this year. The reason I think City's going to win the league this year is for the reason that De Bruyne is right now in his prime. Mahrez is in his prime. We have too many players on the City team that are playing so good. And I think City also made a defensive signing. I don't know if Ake is going to be all that. But I think City get a grip this year, and I think they go ahead and I think they get it done, man. That's my opinion. I think Liverpool, for me, are probably still the most complete team. But here's what I'm going to say about Liverpool. And the reason why I don't think they're going to finish first. My problem with Liverpool is if Salah, Mane, Firmino, or Van Dijk get hurt, if one of those players get hurt, I worry about that team. And they've stayed quite injury-free, fingers crossed, for these years now. And I don't know if they're going to continue to be able to do that. That's going to be the interesting part for me to see. So this is going to be my Premier League. This is my Premier League video, guys. I'm sure I'm going to get this whole table wrong, but I wanted to put one out for you guys so we could react to it at the end of the year. I did a decent amount of looking. I think I know a good amount of football transfers and signings, so I don't think this is going to be totally a wrong prediction. This is going to be the most interesting, like this thing right here. These teams right here, even Sheffield United, man, I could see being in the mix because they did really well against good teams this year. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think my dark horse for this year to do really well and maybe outperform everything would probably be like who could really compete with top teams. I think Wolves have a real shot this year, not to win, but to do well against good teams. And I think for me, man, look, I think Arsenal, man, I think Arsenal are so close. I just think that the defense for me is so important in the Premier League. But yeah, this is what I'm going to go with, guys. Hope you enjoyed the prediction video today. If you guys did, toss it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Peace.